Hello, legends anywhere, anytime. This is Zach of SomeDudePlays.com, just some dude who likes to play video games, and we are here for part 182 of Fire Emblem Three Houses Blue Lions, the Lorenzathon of supports. So yeah, I'll wait a bit, then we'll do some cooking with the head chef. But yeah, so today we are going to focus on Lorenz supports. So let's start with Hilda, Marianne, and Lysithea. Yeah, we'll do those three first. So let's have Hilda talk first.
Thank you, Lorenz. You've done so much for me. You've been a tremendous help.
It was but a trifle. Surely there was no small amount of danger, but in the interest of experience, I was happy to endure.
You're so strong that I can't help but feel safe in your presence.
Yes, of course. Although, no matter how much brute strength we bring to bear, it is important that there be a leader on the field as well. Without someone possessed of my sound judgment and adaptability, we would surely be lost.
Hilda is so playing him, and he's paying for it like a sucker.
Surely, yes. My thoughts exactly. But,
What is it?
I'm going to keep providing support from the back. You wouldn't mind doing more fighting for me, would you?
Oh, well, physically I can, certainly, but if you mean on an everyday basis...
He doesn't have enough energy for that.
I knew you would. You have the generous soul of a true noble. I'll have to write back home and sing your praises.
And maybe convince your father, who would write up a betrothal tongue-tied. A betrothal having trouble saying it, but basically a marriage contract. Really? For
You mean to your father and brother?
To become... Okay, sorry. A betrothal contract. There we go. Scott is close as I'm going to get because my tongue's tying itself up for some reason.
Yes, I have to write my big brother pretty often, as a matter of fact. He gets upset if I don't.
And here's the catch. The overprotective big brother who's a good warrior.
And yet I never have much to write about. I've been really straining for topics. That must strike you as a terrible nuisance, the idea of me blabbing about you in my letters.
Nuisance? Oh, hardly. Your brother is one of the foremost commanders of the Alliance. I can think of no higher accolade than to have my name passed on to his noble ear.
Then I'll tell him about all your thrilling exploits. Although if you can't help, that's okay too. I'll find something else to write about.
Oh, fear not. I shall show you exploits of a nature more thrilling than you could ever dream. Incidentally, when you write to him, please do not refer to me merely as Lorenz. Please use my full name, Lorenz Hellman Gloucester. This will be an excellent opportunity to advance the status of the Gloucester name.
What a funny boy.
Like I said, hook, line, and sinker like a sucker. Now with Marianne.
Tell me, Marianne, do you have a love of flowers?
Well, I don't dislike them.
I've happened upon a spot that's just teeming with splendid blossoms. Would you like me to show you?
I think I would rather stay. It would be for the best if you kept your distance from me.
Well, perhaps I could pick a few of the nicest and present them to you. With a beautiful bouquet in your arms, your magnificence would rival even that of the goddess.
I would never compare myself to the beauty of the goddess.
I see. Well, I don't mind. Oh, that is a lovely handkerchief you've got there.
And he's trying to put the moves on her.
Did you know that a handkerchief reflects the sensitivity of its owner? Yours tells me you have quite a refined sensibility. If you only applied yourself a little more to the rest of your ensemble, there is no doubt in my mind.
If you admire my handkerchief so much, you may have it.
She just wants to get rid of him.
No, please, that is not what I meant.
It was a gift from my adoptive father. I didn't choose it for myself. I'm sure I don't share his refined sensibilities, though.
considering how little he and I have in common. I
Wow.
have to go.
Stepped on a landmine there, Lorenz.
Such beauty. And yet, with just a little polish, she'd be a marvel. If only she'd put in some effort.
That's not what she means.
I wonder. Indeed, I shall make it my mission to awaken her beauty.
As we've seen from the other supports, Marianne has quite a lot of issues to get
There is
through.
nothing that I, Lawrence Hellman Gloucester, cannot do.
Except fail at picking up women. Actually, correction. Except picking up women because he always fails.
It didn't work. Odd. My logic was sound, or so I thought.
Ah, Lysithea, I've just happened upon some lovely tea leaves. Would you care to join me for a cup?
Nope. Busy.
While I admire your dedication to research, you simply must take breaks now and again for the sake of your health.
He has a point, but of course Lysithea doesn't have that much time.
I am perfectly capable of knowing when to stop. I'm no child, I'll have you know.
Come now, take just a brief respite. Look, I've even brought snacks to go with the tea.
Ooh, that actually looks pretty tasty. All right, fine.
And there's the kid going for sweets coming out.
Well, what do you think? These are made especially for my house. I've loved them since I was a boy.
Oh, geez. Wow. Actually, this is delicious. You have excellent taste, Lorenz.
Well, we've all known that.
Have as much as you'd like. For the sake of our friendship, I consider it well worth the investment. I'd like to know more about you, Lysithea. Where did you learn such a command of magic? When you were a child, what kind of...
Put in mouth and landmine triggered in 3, 2, 1.
Come on. Can't we just enjoy the snacks? I loathe talking about myself.
Openness is a prerequisite to successful diplomacy. You'll learn that when you take your first real steps into high society.
Can you stop with the kid treatment? I mean, really? Is age the only thing you consider when engaging with others?
But there's nothing the matter with being young. There is a role to be played at every stage in life. That is how we learn and grow.
Are you even listening? It's like you can't even help yourself but to continue treating me like a child.
Lysithea, you're kind of asking to be treated as a child.
I absolutely recognize your raw ability. You possess quite a rare gift for magic. I hope we can find a way for you to use that gift to help as many people as we can. Surely you can agree to that at least.
You really are relentless. I'll spell this out for you once more. I don't care.
You're headstrong, just like me. That very quality will ensure a better future for Fodlan.
Lorenz is so stuck in his own head, he can't even see anything.
I, sir, am nothing like you. You're bullheaded and boorish, and utterly fixated on the future. All you care about is what's to come.
And not the past, and not now.
Sure, it's all well and good to be thinking about such lofty things. However, for me, the future's a very long ways off. Better to focus on the present, on the here and now.
Because she might not have a future.
Thanks for the tea.
Lysithea?
Oh, he realizes he's... Yeah, now that one's gonna get much better as things go on. Yeah. So... Lysithea, Hilda, Marianne. Today's special? Let's see, sports, Dedue. So if Gilbert or Shamir's available. Perfect.
I like this. This is my favorite dish.
Perfect. Now let's do 2 more supports. With Lorenz.
Is that Professor Manuela? Her voice is every bit as fine as you might expect from the former leader of the Middle Franc troupe.
Yeah, I wonder if he actually saw her shows when he was younger.
Oh, if it weren't for her drinking and her woefully inadequate manners, she would fit right in with high society. Wait a minute.
She's been a part of high society.
As my mind clings to desperate thoughts, here it comes, horse, full moon, and summer's end.
That's my... Oh no. No, no, no!
No, that's some good acting.
Oh, Lorenz! I heard you shout. Are you okay?
The poem! My poem! Forget it, I said! I asked you for one
Oh,
thing!
that explained the horrified nose. She's singing out his poems.
And I told you it would be impossible for me to forget.
Certainly, I understand. But setting it to music, and now singing it?
For once, he's getting a taste of his own medicine.
Oh, yes. It makes for a beautiful song, doesn't it? I'm feeling so lonely and blue. My dearest has left. He has gone far away, and I'm here, all alone. And in my sadness, your poem, well, it became a song for me to sing. It brought me a moment of happiness.
I do not know who spurned you, but I assure you my poem has nothing to do with any such feelings. It is getting late. We should both turn in. I will take my leave now.
Oh, I understand. You're leaving me too. Why? Am I too old to matter?
No, I never said any such thing. Why, I am sure there are plenty of men who would prefer a mature woman such as yourself.
Mature, he says. I knew it. You're all the same, you know. No one sees the person behind the voice. They just see me older today than yesterday. They say, oh, look what happened to her. Nobody sees my frustration, my resignation to be forever alone. But you do. It's all right there in your poem.
Please, I assure you, my poem was not about that at all. It was actually about the ideal of nobility. The sentiment is that someday I know I will get what I want. There is no resignation in it, as you seem to be suggesting.
But as always, sometimes what the reader believes is said is a bit different than what the writer intended.
Lorenz. I was sure the poem was more about someone lamenting their frailty and the loneliness of time's passing. But that's not it at all, is it? This is the story of someone impatient to get ahead, who is afraid they'll never make it.
The speaker in the poem does lament his shortcomings. The road to reach his ideal is long. It is a trial, a test. If he can just find his way through it, he knows he can move forward. So I think you should try to move forward too. Because with a voice as talented as yours, how could you possibly fail?
Lorenz, someday you should let me sing this song in public. I think people who are battling through their own trials, they might find comfort in this. And I believe I'm the only one who can do your work justice.
Very well. You have my assent. On the condition that you do not attach my name to it.
Well, Lorenz, you might change your mind in the future.
Now, permit me to retire for the night. I require ample rest to maintain an adequate level of polish, you know. I suppose, if my poem must be set to music, then it had best be done by such a talented singer.
Yep. Now with Leonie, this is going to be funny.
Hello, Leonie. Busy as usual, I see.
Yep, lots to do. Not like you fancy nobles. Hey, can't you see all this stuff I'm carrying? Come on, move over already.
Alas, I cannot comply with your request.
Okay.
Can't even ask a noble to take a step to the side, huh? That's a joke, right? You're kidding.
You've injured your foot. I could tell immediately by the way you are favoring it.
What?
Oh, he might do something good in this one.
Heavy lifting will only worsen the injury. Please, permit me to examine it.
Hey, cut that out! Isn't that improper or something, bowing to a commoner?
I am not bowing to you. I am tending your wound.
That's not what it'll look like. Hey, it's fine. Leave it.
Easing the burdens of the common folk is a natural obligation of the nobility. Now hold still and keep quiet for a moment, if you would be so kind.
Yep.
That's a real pretty way to talk about sitting around in castles doing nothing. Let me tell you, everyone in my village is so grateful to be taxed up to the eyeballs for the privilege of— Ow!
Good timing, Lorenz.
Oh, it's quite swollen. And you're feverish. Fortunately, I do have an ointment here that should be of use.
What? You just carry that stuff around with you?
Certainly. It won't do to be unprepared if I happen across someone in need.
I don't get you, Lorenz.
It seems I've neglected to pack bandages. I'm afraid this handkerchief will have to suffice.
What, that fancy thing? Bit of a waste, isn't it? Hey, no thanks. I don't need some noble's pity.
What about the help of a friend?
Good answer, Lorenz. It seems like he kind of got through to Leonie. But yeah, she'd probably never seen a handkerchief that expensive in her life.
I am as much that as I am a noble, if you recall.
More of your weird logic.
There, that should ease the pain. And since you are recovering, allow me to carry this burden for you as well. There we are. Now, farewell.
I really don't understand that guy. Oh no, I completely forgot to thank him.
Yep. Yeah, so Lorenz, despite being such a noble, he has his good points to him. I have to choose another one. Ah, perfect.
I did not expect much from the dining hall, but this does not disappoint.
I like this dish. It was my father's favorite.
Yay! Now some more Lorenz hour. Well, more like 30 minutes. So Ignatz and Raphael.
Ignatz, hello. What are you up to?
You frightened me.
Oh, calm yourself. What is it that you're drawing?
I thought I'd jot down some sketches of everyone while they're training. And then later on, I'll try to practice their moves on my own. But I can't really concentrate on sketching if someone's watching me.
Just sketches, Even so, they're lovely. There's such life in them. It's as if they're moving on the page before my very eyes.
Really shows how good of a drawer Ignatz is.
You really think so? You know, I always hoped to be an artist.
He'd do a way better job at it than being a knight.
With skills like that, I'm quite certain you could easily make a living of it. And your demeanor is different when you draw. Bolder somehow. Ah, yes, there's an idea. Perhaps in the future you will join my retinue as my personal painter. Wait, have we not discussed this arrangement already? I had decided to take you into my service as a knight, had I not?
Becoming a knight was my father's idea. Being an artist is out of the question, I'm afraid.
So you've said. Well then, I suppose you shall simply have to become a knight who
Knight
also paints.
Nice way to get around it, Lorenz.
A knight who also paints?
I have seen your talent and can attest to it. Your gifts are too great to wither away in obscurity. A knight with the rare gift of artistic talent would be most welcome in my employ.
I had never thought of that. Still, I don't understand why you'd want me as one of your knights. As a fighter, I'm unremarkable.
There is more to knighthood than combat. Courtly manners, a dignified bearing, and an aesthetic sensibility are also essential. A knight with an eye for art and the talent to create it is sure to improve the image of the nobility.
Lawrence, I'd never have guessed you were prone to such eccentric ideas.
You know, that's the thing about Lorenz. He's very much a noble, but he actually does practice noblesse oblige. If only he could show a bit more compassion is in how he acts with commoners and stuff. Like with Leonie, he put his foot in his mouth the last support, and in the one we did just before Ignatz here, he helps her with no regard because, hey, she needed help.
Thank you. I'm feeling a little more confident after hearing your kind words.
Oh, no cause for thanks. It is a noble's duty to provide guidance to those in need.
And right now, I believe he gave Ignatz some really good guidance and advice. Now let's see. Mercedes. Actually, yeah, we'll finish all of his supports in this video.
Ah, so hungry. I gotta eat something.
Again, Raphael? Here, perhaps this will suffice.
Really? I can have this? But don't you need to eat after all that training?
Raphael is the Monkey D. Luffy of Fire Emblem Three Houses, always eating meat.
We can't have you starving, can we? Your strength is a great asset. It would be a terrible loss if you fell faint in battle.
A bit different from what happened in their last support.
Besides, no true noble can look upon the hungry with indifference.
Really, Lorenz, really? Look how often that happens.
Seriously? Wow, that's awful generous of you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But listen while you eat. I believe it would benefit you to pay more attention to the way you carry yourself in the company of your betters.
Wrong word. Company of others, not betters.
It is the duty of the nobility to protect the common folk. And, in return, the commoner is expected to show deference and respect. Naturally, I understand that there is a certain tendency toward familiarity because we are classmates. However...
Oh, that was tasty.
See, he was eating so much he didn't even listen to Lorenz.
Raphael, did you hear a word I just said?
Oh, hey! I sent my little sis some of that fancy treat you gave me a while back. She wrote back to say that it was tasty and to thank you. So thanks.
That is excellent news. I'm pleased to hear that you both enjoyed it. But there's no need for you to thank me. It was actually a gesture of gratitude in the other direction, from me to you. Thanks to the wisdom of your words, I have begun to consider my approach to dining in a completely new way.
Which is a good thing, but still, even if someone's giving you a gift in thanks, you still thank them for the gift.
Mealtime has proven to be ideal for the study of character. It is a tool I intend to make great use of as the leader of the Alliance.
Yep. It's just like I told you. Food tastes better when you eat with good company.
That's not quite what I meant. No matter. You are satisfied, I trust?
I could probably keep eating, but I'm ready to train. All right. Time to get back to it so I can protect my buddy Lorenz.
I've not quite gotten through to you, have I?
Lorenz, you're gonna fail, but you may help him a bit.
It is not the duty of a commoner to protect a noble. That is fundamentally against the order of society.
But it's the duty of a friend to protect a friend.
But if you hadn't given me food just now, I couldn't have survived on the battlefield because I'd be too weak to train. Who'd take care of my little sis if I wasn't around? She'd probably end up starving to death as well. In a way, by feeding me, you're protecting her too.
It was only a little food. There's no need to get carried away.
You're a real decent noble, you know that? Worrying so much about my sister and all. All I gotta do is protect you. Then you protect everyone else, right?
Yep.
I'm not certain your logic is sound, but your strength is undeniable. Very well. Do as you like.
Surprisingly enough, Raphael there actually made a lot of sense in a simplistic manner.
Dining certainly is a window to the soul. Eating with you has helped me to see that I've misjudged you. You're not some gluttonous simpleton. You are grateful for the protection the nobility offers, and eager to emulate our example.
And Raphael is going to do something to screw that up in... Surprisingly, not right now. I already did Gilbert and Dedue. Let's do, yeah, Dimitri and Marianne. Yeah. Dimitri is currently not having any food. We'll wait until the next video to look after those.
I just wanted to say that I've been watching and I'm really impressed by how hard you work. Very dedicated for someone so young.
And it's the kickoff again. Let's see if they both fail, one fails, or both win.
Oh, thank you.
I really admire your everything. But you know, everybody needs to relax now and then. I was wondering if maybe you and me could...
I'm quite busy. I should get going. Bye.
Someone's definitely warned the townsfolk about both Sylvain and Lorenz.
That was difficult to watch.
Lawrence, ever since you started hanging around, I've had no luck. Usually, if I show a girl I'm mature, noble, and interested, she's an easy catch.
Your logic is sound, I will admit, but your results are less than entirely convincing. Honestly, all this talk of maturity and experience from a shallow person like you is rather laughable.
Shallow? What? Like your nobleness as some properly cultured man of the world?
Naturally, my bearing is as elegant and refined as silk. Observe.
A major fail coming up in...
You seem to be deep in thought. Is there something on your mind? Please, allow me to lend you my ear. I will gladly shoulder any of your burdens.
Oh, thank you. But it's not something I really want to talk about.
So harsh. Even the slightest worry, I would have been happy to listen.
Why, yes. Your silky bearing was quite impressive. You're always going on about nobility, but that's no way to win a woman. Your problem, and I may have told you this before, at least twice, your problem is you're pretentious.
That's rich coming from you. Your bearing is so flippant that you utterly fail to gain a lady's trust. How can you not see that?
Maybe they need to learn for each other. Sylvain needs to act a little more like Lorenz, and Lorenz needs to act a bit more like Sylvain.
All I'm failing to see is you getting a girl's attention.
How dare you?
Listen, I'm sorry. That was mean. And you're probably right about me not being serious enough.
I will concede. I feel the same. Enough at least to keep your advice at the back of my mind. I was a touch too stubborn.
It's the same in battle, isn't it? If you don't bend a little, you fail.
Yeah.
Even so?
Yeah, with that being said...
Challenge accepted. Time for the next round.
I will outclass you, Sylvain.
Bring it on, Lawrence.
And that's that with those two.
Looking as lovely as ever today, Dorothea.
Oh, save it for your noble girls, Lawrence. I'm not in the mood.
Is he going to do something to brighten up her mood, or is he going to fail again?
I was only being polite.
And it really was quite wonderful to be so near your elegance.
Now, if you'll please excuse me.
Now hold just a moment. I have tolerated quite enough of this impertinence. Not a word has escaped my lips to imply that you are anything less than a highly attractive woman. But I am the heir to a noble house. I have a duty. Thus, I am unable to engage in courtship with you. What is it about my circumstances that you seem to find so very amusing?
All of it?
You're no different from the men who flirted with me when I was in the opera. As long as you're getting what you're after, you don't much care what a woman wants, needs, or feels.
That is truly what you think of me? I am afraid you have completely misunderstood.
Oh, have I? Do explain.
If noble status were my only priority, then I could be married 100 times over by now. But birthright is not sufficient for me. I am not looking merely for an accessory. Marriage is a relationship of mutual respect, support, and trust.
Oh, he's making a good point.
If my wife and I are of the same mind and of the same worth, then together we can achieve anything. That is why I make overtures to so many ladies. I am in search of an ideal.
You're searching for someone who matches your vision of a perfect spouse? How odd. So am I.
And everyone else.
My standards are somewhat more exacting, but yes, I suppose on that point we are similar. Please understand that I'm acting with the best of intentions in search of a partner.
You're more serious than I thought. And so earnest, it's almost adorable. If you met a peasant girl and fell madly in love, would you be able to give her up? Break her heart?
I would have no choice. The worlds of the nobility and the common folk are simply too far apart. I cannot choose to abandon my duty merely for the sake of a fleeting emotion.
Lawrence, you're dangerously close to dedicating your life to the lie that nobility is something special.
Dorothea has actually seen that end of things, being a opera singer and having the nobility and other people try to cozy up to her.
I hope you realize that before it's too late.
And that's the thing, she's following her heart to find someone who will give her what she wants in life. Hopefully with money, so there's no hardship. Where Lorenz, he hasn't realized sometimes you have to throw the nobility to the side and be selfish and pursue what you want.
Mercedes, I have to insist that you take up a position behind me on the battlefield. I must protect the common folk, and you have been in danger rather frequently of late.
I appreciate your concern, but I can take care of myself. Everything is about nobility and common folk with you, Lorenz. It's tiresome.
He has to realize that it does not matter.
Tiresome? I am only fulfilling my duty.
Is that to say you would have left me lying on the floor in pain, had it not been your duty to assist?
Knowing Lorenz, he would have helped her anyways.
You mean when you were hurt on my account? I still would have assisted you, as any commoner would have. It is simply a matter of perspective. And if I were common-born, I would not have simply let you leave without... Never mind. Forgive me.
Excuse me?
She wants to know what he was gonna say.
Are you implying that you would have taken advantage of me if you were lowborn?
What? No! And I am no longer interested in the hypothetical nature of this conversation.
You should just say what you would have done, Lorenz.
Oh, Lorenz, you'll never change.
What do you mean?
I find myself growing irritated just looking at you.
Holy cow, he is pissing off Mercedes, and she is hard to get angry.
Is that so? I fail to see exactly how I am so irritating.
You claim that you don't want to be involved with common women, don't you? But I know deep in your heart you love being around us. You're willfully ignorant to that. I hope you know what you're depriving yourself of.
I am certain I've told you before that my marriage must be beneficial to House Gloucester.
Marriage has no part in this.
I've not the time for fruitless courtship.
But what about friendship?
Fruitless? How can you say such things? What would happen if you fell in love with a commoner?
Nothing at all. I accept the role that I must play, and any sacrifice that must accompany it.
So, your duty as a noble is more important than your own feelings?
Naturally.
If that's true, then your whole existence is rather sad.
And now she just pities him.
I am afraid you misunderstand. This is my choice. There is no cause for pity.
That is why. It was your choice to take things that far.
I think I've heard enough. I have to go.
Yep, Lorenz with even more relationship troubles. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to do a quick check here before we end. Okay. So yeah, luckily the only ones that I have weighed in are the ones that currently cannot be looked after. But the nice thing is I only have about 2 bouts until I am complete with Lorenz's supports. And unfortunately, okay, so yeah, so 1. Yeah, I definitely need to take 2 more times for him at least, because Sally, I can't do Catherine there. But yeah, everyone else is pretty much good to go, so I will end the video here and we will see you all next time. So please remember, if you've liked the video, interact with the channel by sharing, comment, and subscribe, and turning on notifications. Visit it in SomeDudePlays.com. And remember, we are all legends, so have a great day, everyone.